Cool car envy.
Intriguing, obscure, mystical, almost like something from a dream, this unusual collection of classic sports cars known as Toad Hall is overflowing with enchantment. Cars aging like a fine wine, frozen in time for decades. Inspired by the wind in the willows and Mr. Toad's red sports cars. In this first of a multi-part series, we examine and discuss two 1958 MGAs with the owner, Bill Putman. Let's get right into it.
Well, I'll give you a quick history of the whole thing first.
Sure.
We lived up in Hingham and wanted to get a bed and breakfast down here someday. My wife died in '87. This big 200-year-old house came on the market, and I got things going. And I always had a couple of cars and got a couple more,
Right.
Then my dad died in the mid-'90s, sold the house, settled the estate. What am I going to do? I don't know. So it became a game going on eBay, buying red cars and building more sheds.
Interesting.
Got up to about 60 cars.
Wow.
And I've had to sell about 30 over the last 25 years to keep the bed and breakfast going.
I see.
COVID wiped the bed and breakfast out.
Oh, yeah.
But I still got my car collection. I think I told you I've got an envelope about this thick of people who want this car, that car.
Right.
But if I sell any more, there's no reason for people to come.
Right.
Kept the classics, and the people that come, even though I only have 30 of them, are very happy.
Well, that's a good number. You did a good job keeping the place together through COVID, and it's still here, and it looks amazing.
Well, I don't know what else I'm going to do, so the heck.
Yeah, you got to do something in life.
But anyway, I thought we'd talk about these two MGs first.
Sure.
At the end of World War II, MG, which stands for Morris Garages, had the TC. They made the TD in 46 to 52.
Right.
And that America had no sports cars up till then.
Yeah,
and
so true.
A lot of the soldiers, when they were over in England and stuff, bought a couple of cars, sent them back.
Yeah.
But then they also got into Germany and saw Porsches and BMW, a lot of cars that they never even heard of.
Right.
In Italy, got into Ferrari and Fiat and a couple other cars. And so the whole thing started picking up after that.
Right.
These MGAs came out.
Right.
And instead of having a big boxy thing, this thing is just it looks like a race car.
Oh yeah, it sure does. Unbelievably curvy and sporty.
The whole different ball game. And they started bringing him back, and then America started making Mustangs and Corvettes and a few other things.
Sure.
But I hate to say that World War II started the whole thing, but it did.
Yeah.
The first really sports car came out of England, and this MGA. It came out in 1952 to 57. And four-cylinder engine, two-seat. The batteries are in the back. Then it's
really?
It's a convertible. Top comes up.
Right.
Plexiglass sides, and you reach in, door handle. There's a cable.
Look at that.
That's how you open the door.
Awesome.
Well, for a 2-year period from 57 to middle of 58, it was they made it for this guy.
Yeah.
MGA, same engine, same basic body, except they threw a hump on it.
Yeah, big bubble.
And I never understood why they didn't make more of these cars, because the English like the soft top, but it rains over there 360 days a year.
Right. So
this was a practical car.
Much more practical.
Instead of reaching inside and getting a cable, you open a chrome door handle. Instead of plexiglass windows, you have roll-up real glass windows.
Sure.
And you have the little window here that pops out. And I always think of those as cigarette windows.
Right.
And then they stopped it. And the next car up was MGBs. I've got them, and we'll talk about them sometime. But all the early cars, they all started as convertibles.
Right. And then,
well, they all started as horse carriages way back.
Yeah.
Anyway, the two MGAs are both 1958s. Front grills are a little bit different. Of course, this has the bubble top on it. Like I say, they're both 1958s. Both have the same engines. And that in there. 4-cylinder. Uh, and back in the biggest ones, I had a couple of Jaguar E-types, and the engine compartment was about the size of the whole car here.
Wow.
And
I
they
bet,
had
yeah.
financial troubles with especially when they made the 12-cylinder engine.
Yeah.
So you could almost stand in there and take the thing out. But
Right.
all of these you can work on very easily. You want to pull the starter
Yeah.
out, it's right there. You want to change, work with the carburetors, they're right there. And that's how I learned how to play with carburetors and stuff like that. These two are SU carburetors.
Okay.
And there's the air filter over there, but they suck the air in there.
Right.
And
Yep.
they make a thing that's sort of like a a wind thermostat that you can put on that. And this one's getting more air. You can adjust that and less air, and you can play around with the thing.
So cool.
And especially way back in the race car days, where all the cars had carburetors and stuff.
Right. Right.
Depending on whether you were racing out in Denver, which is up high, or Texas, which is dry, or someplace else.
Right. Get different air qualities.
Same carburetors, we had to readjust them totally.
Right.
It's like a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
Then,
you had to really know the car.
Then later it's all electronic and everything like that. But,
yeah. Right. This is before the days of computers. It was just
this was fun.
done by feel. Yep.
Fun. This was a later edition. This was, I totally lose track, but it was either my first or my second sports car once I came down here.
Okay.
Came down with a Mazda RX-7 87, first year of the turbo.
Awesome.
And
nice car.
got this one. It was in good shape. Motor was sort of so-so, so we rebuilt the motor and everything, and it was a fun daily driver.
Great.
Neat
Sure,
little
why
car.
not? Why not?
And if you had trouble, you could lift your head above the windshield to see what was going on.
Yeah, there you go.
There's an information sheet on each windshield. It gives the engine type, the horsepower, the top speed, and a lot of these top speed was 65 miles an hour.
Nice.
And
that'll work.
but the A's were good little cars. They just didn't weigh much. They turned well. They handled well.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. That's the opinion going around on these, is the steering and the handling is just fantastic.
Yeah, as opposed to a big,
right. And they've got less than 100 horsepower, but it's not all about the speed. It's about just the sound and the feel.
Oh yeah. Back in those days, Massachusetts had the blue laws. Stores couldn't be open on Sundays. So before malls with shopping centers had 10 acres of asphalt, they had little autocross events and stuff.
Right.
And Lime Rock and Briar, and some of the tracks had club events. And so I bought a 72 240, and by 74, did a couple of track events, and by 75 tore the car apart. I called it Minuteman Racing.
Yeah.
So and didn't race any of these cars. Just got in the habit of putting them on all of them.
So same deal. I pull the strap down.
Pull the strap.
Oh yeah. Oh, smooth.
And climb in.
Woohoo! Moment of truth.
Don't press any of the pedals.
Definitely not touch those pedals. Oh,
but
wow.
It's almost like sitting on the ground, isn't it?
So low. It really is.
Can you get your leg under the steering wheel?
Yeah.
There you go.
I did, yep. Oh, wow. Incredible.
Some of the early cars, I don't think this is one.
Wow.
The steering wheel would adjust so it would pop up so you could get into it, and then you pull it back down.
Oh, yeah. It's other ways. Otherwise, your legs wouldn't get in.
Yeah.
But I fit. It's a good fit.
And your head can almost go over the top of the windows.
Yeah. Not a lot of frills. No seat belts. Seats don't look adjustable.
Came as a requirement. I forget when, but later on.
Yeah, but it's all about feeling the car, not necessarily being super comfortable.
Well, and the gauges are right there in your face.
Yep. I see the speedometer goes up to 120. Impressive. Yeah. This is really neat. Hardwood steering wheel. Wow. Beautiful cockpit. This is great, Bill. Thank you so much. This is a real treat.
But they're fun.
Yeah, this is wonderful.
There's
Everything's
actually room
so small.
For 2 people in here.
Yep. Perfect. Perfect. It's actually in really nice shape. The interior is clean. Well, this is a blast. This has been so much fun, and I hope we can make this a little mini series and go around and do tours of all of these cars eventually. But this is a real blast.
Oh, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it's fun to let people see them, and then they can come down and actually see them here.
That's the plan. And it's a must for anyone who's anywhere near the Cape Cod area. This is a must see.
When the people come, we're at 288 Scudder Avenue,
Yeah.
Hyannis,
Right.
and the phone number is 508-778-4934.
Excellent. Thank you. And there's no exterior handle. You just shut it. That's it.
Takes care of itself.
Yep.
The garage wanders around, but over here.
When you visit this peculiar place, the cars and atmosphere just come to life, and you might even feel a strong energy and mystique just being surrounded by the classic cars at Toad Hall. Join us again soon for the next part in this series and more, and please hit like and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. We'll see you on the next one.